The night was dark, and Raphael Carter, a renowned defense attorney, drove down a quiet road, his mind tangled in the day's courtroom battles. Known for defending the voiceless, his life was all work, cases, clients, justice. Nothing else mattered. But as his car's headlights swept across the roadside, they caught a figure, a young woman, thin and frail, crouched in the grass, eating it like she hadn't seen food in days. Raphael's heart stopped. Not just because of her desperate state, but because of a mark on her shoulder. A teardrop-shaped birthmark, identical to one he'd seen in old case files, belonging to Bella Marie Delval, the missing daughter of one of America's richest families, gone for over a decade. He stepped out, voice shaking. "Where did you get that mark? Tell me, are you Bella?" The woman froze, her eyes wide with fear, grass still in her hand. I don't know," she stammered, voice barely a whisper. "I don't remember anything." Her name, she said, was Erica. But her past? A blank void. Raphael's mind raced. Could this be Bella? He couldn't leave her there. Gently, he helped her into his car, her body light as air, and drove to his ancestral home, a safe haven far from the city. Erica's world had been a prison of 4 crumbling walls. A cracked ceiling greeted her every morning, its scars mirroring her own. She didn't know how long she'd been locked away. Days, months, years? Time slipped like sand through her fingers. No clocks, no sunlight, just a faint beam that crept through a crack in the wall at noon. It was her only proof the world outside existed. Chains bound her wrists and ankles, leaving marks that ached with every move. A broken mirror in the corner showed a stranger, hollow eyes, tangled hair, skin pale from neglect. She couldn't recall her face before this place, only that she'd once been happy, free. Her only comfort was Ms. Nancy, an elderly woman who brought her food, rice, a bit of meat, water. Nancy's voice was soft, her touch kind. "Eat, child," she'd say, feeding Erica, whose chained hands couldn't hold a spoon. Nancy's eyes held sorrow, as if she carried a secret. "I'm sorry," she'd whisper, stroking Erica's hair. "I pray God saves you." Erica didn't know what God was, but Nancy's warmth gave her a flicker of hope. Maybe the world hadn't forgotten her. One night, Nancy overheard the guards. Cruel men who'd kidnapped Erica, talking. "The guy who ordered this hasn't paid in months," one said. "Why not have some fun with her? She's still fresh." Nancy's blood ran cold. She wouldn't let them touch Erica. That night, she made a choice. Under cover of darkness, she slipped sleeping pills into the guards' drinks. Then, with trembling hands, she unlocked Erica's chains. "We're getting you out," she whispered. "Don't ask questions. Run." Erica's heart pounded as the chains fell away. Free? She didn't know what that meant anymore. "Come with me," she begged Nancy. The old woman shook her head. "If I go, they'll know I helped you. They'll hunt you. Go live for me." Tears streamed down Erica's face as she hugged Nancy, then slipped through a hidden passage. She climbed a fence, her hands bleeding, and ran until her legs gave out. For the first time, she felt grass under her feet, cool and alive. She was free. But freedom was overwhelming. The world was loud. Cars roared like beasts, lights blinded her. Starving, she ate grass by the roadside, sobbing. That's when Raphael found her, collapsing as he approached. He carried her to his home, where his housekeeper, Florence, cleaned her wounds and dressed her in soft clothes. "She's been through something awful," Florence said, her voice heavy. Raphael nodded. "Keep her safe. I'll find her family." Days passed, and Erica, still silent, still scared, began to trust Florence. She didn't know how to use a shower or brush her teeth. Her captors had stolen even those simple skills. Florence taught her gently, her heart breaking for the girl who'd never known freedom. "You're safe here," she promised. Erica nodded, her eyes less fearful each day. Raphael, buried in a major human rights case, couldn't focus on Erica right away. But late one night, after a grueling day, he found her awake, watching him from the couch. "Thank you," she said softly, her first real words to him. He smiled, surprised. "It's nothing." He asked about her family, her past, but she shook her head. "I ran away. Nancy told me to." Raphael's jaw tightened. Kidnapped? He vowed to uncover her story. His case finally won, Raphael turned his attention to Erica. His junior attorney, Michael, showed him an old article about Bella Marie Delval, a 6-year-old who vanished after a hospital fire. The Delvals, a powerful family, never stopped searching. The article mentioned a teardrop birthmark. Raphael's pulse quickened. He'd seen that mark on Erica's shoulder. "Find everything on Bella," he told Michael. "Forensic reports, hospital records, everything." At home, Erica was adjusting. She smiled more, ate fresh fruit, and marveled at the sky. But danger loomed. One night, a black SUV blocked Raphael's car. A man in a suit, leaning on a cane, stepped out. "Give us the girl," he demanded. "You're meddling in things you don't understand." Raphael stood firm. "I'm attorney Raphael Carter. My name carries weight. If I disappear, people will notice." The man's eyes narrowed, but he backed off. "This isn't over." Raphael moved Erica to a secluded lake house, far from prying eyes. There, she bloomed, laughing, swimming, learning to live. Raphael's feelings grew, not just as her protector but something deeper. Still, he focused on her past, working with a private investigator. He found a photo of Bella with the same birthmark. He knew Erica was Bella. He contacted the Delvals. 2 helicopters landed on the island, and Mr. and Mrs. Delval stepped out. When they saw Erica, they froze. "Bella," Mrs. Delval sobbed, rushing to hug her. Erica, overwhelmed, looked to Raphael. "They might be your family," he said gently. A DNA test confirmed it. Erica was Bella Marie Delval, stolen at 6, now found after 18 years. Back at the Delval mansion, Bella struggled to adjust. The wealth, the portraits, the history, it was too much. One portrait stopped her cold, Elizabeth Delval, her aunt. "That's her," Bella whispered, trembling. "She scared me." Raphael's suspicions grew. Had Elizabeth orchestrated the kidnapping? The Delvals investigated, uncovering Elizabeth's greed. She'd wanted the family's wealth, which required eliminating Bella, the sole heir. Evidence piled up, bank transactions to a black market figure, Eduardo Simbulan. When police arrested Elizabeth, she raged, denying everything. But in court, a surprise witness appeared, Nancy Sarmiento, alive and bold. "Elizabeth Delval ordered Bella's kidnapping," Nancy testified. "She paid to keep her hidden, chained in a building for 18 years. The courtroom gasped. Elizabeth's face drained of color. Raphael presented evidence linking her to Simbulan. The judge found them guilty, sentencing them to life. Bella, tears streaming, hugged Raphael. "Thank you. Without you, I'd still be in that room." He smiled, stroking her hair. "You deserved your life back." The Delvals celebrated Bella's return, but Raphael learned a deeper truth. An old photo showed Bella as a child with his parents, their former driver and maid. Years ago, young Bella had played with him, inspiring his dream to become a lawyer for the oppressed. "You believed in me," he told her, tears in his eyes. Bella smiled, her heart full. 3 years later, Raphael's fame had grown, but his heart ached for Bella, now in New York with her family. He clung to her promise. "I'll fix myself and come back." One day, his office door opened. Bella stood there radiant, strong. "I'm back, attorney," she said, smiling. Raphael's world lit up. He crossed the room, hugged her, and kissed her, his staff cheering. "I love you, Bella," he whispered. "I love you too," she replied, her eyes bright. "I'm not leaving again." The office erupted in cheers, but for Raphael and Bella, the world shrank to just the two of them. Her arms wrapped tightly around him, her warmth erasing the years of longing. "I kept my promise," Bella whispered, her voice steady but soft, like a breeze after a storm. Raphael pulled back, looking into her eyes. Once haunted, now alive with strength. "You did," he said, smiling, his heart pounding. "You're really here." The staff clapped, some wiping tears, others snapping photos on their phones. "Attorney Carter's got a heart after all," one shouted, laughing. Raphael chuckled, a rare lightness in him. Bella blushed, gripping his hand. "Let's get out of here," he said, leading her past the grinning faces to the quiet of his office balcony. The city skyline sparkled below, a canvas of lights under a fading sunset. Outside, Bella leaned against the railing, her hair catching the evening glow. "I spent 3 years rebuilding myself," she said, her voice steady. "Therapy, learning who I was, reconnecting with my parents. But you were always in my mind, Raphael. Every step, I thought of you." He listened, his chest tight. "I didn't know if you'd wait," she added, her eyes searching his. "I never stopped," he said, voice low. "Every case I took, every win, it was for people like you, people who deserved a chance. But you were more than a case." He paused, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "You were my reason." Bella's eyes shimmered with tears, but she smiled, leaning into his touch. For a moment, they stood in silence, the city's hum a distant song. The next morning, Raphael woke to sunlight streaming through his bedroom window. For the first time in years, he didn't feel the weight of work pressing down. Bella was staying at his home, in the guest room where she'd first found safety. Over breakfast, she sat across from him, sipping coffee, her presence both familiar and new. Florence, ever the motherly figure, set down a plate of pancakes, beaming. "Look at you two," she said. "Like no times past." Bella laughed, a sound Raphael hadn't heard in years, bright and free. "Miss Flo, you haven't changed," she said. Florence winked. "You have, dear. Stronger, brighter. You're not that scared girl anymore." Bella's smile softened, and she glanced at Raphael. "Thanks to him." As days turned to weeks, Bella settled into life with Raphael. She wasn't the lost girl anymore, but a woman finding her place. She enrolled in community college, studying art, something she dreamed of in her dark prison days. Raphael supported her, attending her first gallery show, where her paintings, vivid landscapes of open skies and green fields, told her story of freedom. "These are what I saw in my dreams," she told him, pointing to a canvas of a glowing horizon. Raphael bought it, hanging it in his office, a reminder of her resilience. But shadows lingered. One evening, as they walked through the city park, Bella stopped, her face paling. "Someone's watching us," she whispered, gripping Raphael's arm. He scanned the area, seeing nothing but couples and joggers. "You're safe," he assured her, but her fears stirred his own. The threats from 3 years ago, Elizabeth's men, the man with the cane, hadn't fully faded. Raphael had made enemies, and Bella's return to the Delval family had stirred old grudges. That night, he called Michael, his junior attorney. "Dig into Elizabeth Delval's network," he said. "Anyone still loyal to her, anyone who might want revenge." Michael hesitated. "You think they're coming for Bella?" Raphael's jaw tightened. "I won't take chances." Michael promised to investigate, tapping into Leap Inspire, a discreet online platform for legal research, to track old associates of Elizabeth and Eduardo Cimbulin. Days later, Michael called with news. "Found something," he said, voice tense. "Eduardo's brother, Victor Cimbulin, runs a low-profile security firm. Word is, he's been asking about you and Bella on Leap Inspire forums. Nothing direct, but he's got money and grudges." Elizabeth's conviction cost his family millions. Raphael's blood ran cold. "Keep digging," he said, "and give me his location." Raphael didn't tell Bella, not wanting to scare her. But he tightened security, hiring a trusted guard to watch his home. Bella noticed the change, her eyes catching the new locks, the extra car parked outside. "What's going on?" she asked one night, her voice sharp. Raphael sighed, sitting her down. "There's a chance someone's watching us." "Victor Cimbulin, Eduardo's brother. He might want to hurt you to get back at me." Bella's face hardened, not with fear but resolve. "I'm not going back to that darkness," she said. "I've fought too hard." Raphael took her hand. "You won't. I'll protect you." She nodded, but her eyes held a fire he hadn't seen before. "I want to help. I'm not helpless anymore." Together, they strategized. Bella insisted on learning self-defense, and Raphael arranged classes. She trained hard, her body growing stronger, her confidence sharper. Raphael worked with Michael, tracking Victor's moves. Leap Inspire's encrypted channels revealed Victor had hired men to tail them, waiting for a chance to strike. Raphael wasn't just a lawyer now. He was a shield, guarding the woman he loved. One rainy night, as they drove back from dinner, a black van swerved behind them. Raphael's heart raced. "Hold on," he told Bella, flooring the gas. The van followed, its headlights glaring through the rain. Bella clutched the seat, her training kicking in. "There's a back road up ahead," she said, voice steady. "Lose them there." Raphael nodded, veering onto a narrow path. The van struggled to keep up, its bulk no match for his sleek car. After a tense chase, he lost them in the maze of country roads. They pulled over, hearts pounding. Bella grabbed his hand. "We're okay," she said, breathing hard. Raphael nodded, but his mind churned. Victor wasn't giving up. The next day, he met with a detective friend, Sarah, who'd worked the Delval case. "Victor's got a hideout in the old industrial district," she said. "We've got no hard evidence, but Leap Inspire chatter says he's planning something big." Raphael's eyes narrowed. "I want him stopped." Sarah organized a sting, using Leap Inspire to leak false info about Bella's location. Victor took the bait, showing up at an abandoned warehouse with 2 armed men. Police swarmed, catching them off guard. Victor, furious, shouted as cuffs snapped on his wrists. "You can't protect her forever, Carter." Raphael stood nearby, unflinching. "Watch me." With Victor arrested, the threat lifted, but Raphael stayed vigilant. Bella, now thriving, graduated college and opened a small art studio. Her paintings drew crowds, each one a piece of her journey, dark rooms fading into bright skies. Raphael attended every show, proud but haunted by the years they'd lost. One evening, in her studio, Bella unveiled a new painting, 2 figures under a tree, a boy and a girl laughing. "It's us," she said, smiling. "The day we played, when you dreamed of being a lawyer." Raphael's throat tightened. "You remembered." She nodded. Bits and pieces come back. That day, you said you'd fight for people like me. You kept that promise. She stepped closer, her hand on his chest. I want to spend my life with you, Raphael. Not just because you saved me, but because you're my home. He pulled her close, kissing her forehead. You're mine too, Bella. That night, under the stars, he proposed, slipping a simple ring on her finger. She said yes, tears mixing with laughter. The Delvals, overjoyed, hosted a wedding in their mansion's garden, where Bella had once played as a child. Florence and Michael were there, along with Sarah and even Nancy, now free after a light sentence, her heart healed by Bella's forgiveness. Years later, Raphael and Bella built a life together. She painted, he fought for justice, and they raised a daughter, named Nancy, after the woman who'd given Bella her first taste of hope. Their home was filled with love, art, and the quiet strength of two people who'd found each other through darkness. Leap Inspire became their tool for good, a platform to help others reclaim their lives, just as they had. One evening, as they sat by their lake house, their daughter asleep upstairs, Bella leaned against Raphael, watching the sunset. We made it, she whispered. He kissed her hair. We did. And we'll keep going together. The sky burned orange, a promise of tomorrow, and for the first time, neither feared what it might bring.